Hello and welcome back to the channel for another video. In this video, I am going to talk about the conversation that I had with the account that I mentioned in the last video, which is apparently, according to the user, Creepshow Art. Now, it's not confirmed, just want to put that out there, but I thought that I would contact them and have a conversation with them of some sort, or try to at least, and try and answer the questions that maybe you had or that were posed in the Reddit posts and kind of get some answers as best I could. Now, I just want to say that I've asked this person if it's okay to share these messages, and they said yes. Just want to put that out there. So I messaged them and said, hey, how are you doing? Realize this may have been stuck in your message request. And by the way, I decided to chuck them a follow because then my message would get to them, it wouldn't be stuck in the message request. That's what that means. They said maybe it's kind of flooded low. I said, you know, you can prove yourself really easily if you have any intent in doing so. That's what they said, yeah, good. I said, is there a but? They said, but if I did, I'd get flamed the entire time I'm on here. Which is interesting because that's kind of true. Let's say hypothetically this person proved they were Shannon. Are you trying to tell me that people wouldn't therefore go and attack them for the allegations and stuff? Sure, that may be justified if the allegations are true, but this person doesn't want to be harassed, which it makes sense to me, as I do go on to say, a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? I understand that. I do understand that they wouldn't want to prove it because they get harassed a lot, though I don't. I do not condone you attacking them. Don't condone you attacking anyone. I then go on to ask them, do you know of Odessa Franklin Boutwell? Because that has been kind of a question. Odessa was alleged to be Shannon. And they go on to say, no, also I know you're a YouTuber looking for content, lol. I've watched every video you've done on me, including today's on the Twitter. This was on a Friday morning, which was the day I put out the Twitter video. Actually, I think I put it out on the Thursday morning, but it was probably the same day. America, I think. As I said, I was a bit upsetty that you skipped on the IP. That's a good point. And then they said, but no, Odessa sounds nothing like me. I'd have to completely dismantle my recording area to get the background noise and junk audio, and she talks way slower than I do. Which I said, I'm glad you've seen my content. I try my best to just present things as fairly as possible. As you would know, when the DeviantArt thing came out, I looked into it and then debunked it. The IP address thing is a fair point, and it's fair to be upset that I skipped over it. I just don't have enough knowledge on the subject to counter anything that's said. Sure, I could read the articles in the video, but I feel like that should be a separate video if it was covered, as the last one was surrounding the Twitter. I've also never said that the locale posts were you. Their allegations and will remain as such. It would be a bit strange to disprove something that I have never presented as fact. Hope that makes sense. In regards to Odessa, it is said that if it were Shannon, that it would be slowed down and that the resources are at her disposal due to her partner making music, and that it could have been recorded on a phone rather than a usual setup. I tried my best not to say that this person was Shannon. I actually realized that I said here, I never said that the locale posts were you, which would imply that I was addressing them as Shannon, and then I go on to say, said that if it were Shannon, I tried my very best throughout this conversation not to refer to them as Shannon, but I did realize that I messed up. They said, nah, it's fine, I understand, lol, you've seen the story times, million miles an hour and jump cuts all over, usually ends up with half an hour cut out, so I get the time crunch thing, no one wants a 4-hour update video. I said, thanks for understanding, do you see why people think Odessa may be Shannon though? There's comparison videos too. They said, yeah, but honestly that's kind of erratic, I don't know of any voice or picture software for phones that work in real time, which, I mean, you can do it post, like you can do it editing, like you can record on your phone and put it on your computer and then run it through editing software. I don't get that point. I can see why they think that though. I've even seen them accuse a woman who was simply saying don't bash the art of being me, even though she goes on cam regularly and clearly isn't me. Immortalist Studio, I believe, been a couple of weeks. I find it interesting that they were just like, yeah, I get it. Don't know about Produce Software. Oh, by the way, here's something completely kind of semi-unrelated, you know, just very subtle change of topic. Said I saw that video. They said her child was fake and stuff, which you don't know. Strange story. I haven't covered it because there's a bunch of people being accused of being Shannon. That one was just obviously false, and yeah, wasn't very good. It basically goes, if someone defends Shannon, they're Shannon unless they can prove otherwise, and anyone who says they're Shannon isn't Shannon unless they prove they are. I know, wild world, right? Said, I hope you understand that I'm not sold on you being Shannon because I have nothing to go on except for what you say. It's completely understandable. I assume the point of this account is to stick up for Shannon. Sorry, my grammar isn't the best. That's what I've been doing. So yes, I see why do you watch my videos? To see what everyone is saying. I've watched all the videos. Well, most. Some are me apologizing. Those are the worst. Then they posted the link to this. Sent a link to this and said, I told them I never contacted Gabby. I said, is your point to show that people are searching for content? I did mention that you said you didn't contact her in my Twitter video. The reason why I said that I mentioned that is because they said I told them I never contacted Gabby, and look, they made a video, you know, and I was kind of like, oh, that's all well and good, except I said the same thing in my video. So like, you're trying to tell me that you didn't contact Gabby. Well, I never said you did in the first place. And then I sent a link here and said also you quote tweeted this. And they said, oh, I meant I didn't text her and ask her to attack anyone. I've been shouting I never contacted her for a few days since she told Nick that. I even reached out and asked her to clarify. I never did because I thought Nick might be running his mouth, but she ghosted me, so I wrote that quote tweet because I was a little angry by that point. I said, do you have proof of that you reached out and asked her to clarify? I said, well, tweeted at her, it's here. I would have DM'd her, but we aren't friends anymore. Tweeted at her? Yeah, that was more or less it. She was responding like and stuff, so I knew she was active. I said, do you mean this? And they said, nah, that was a frustration post. They tweeted and said, whoever contacted you sure as hell wasn't me, and I appreciate you making this clear. Thank you in advance. So thanks for the clarification. Then I asked would they be comfortable with me sharing some of the messages in a video, and if not, that's fine. I just thought I'd ask. And if they said no, I wouldn't have shared these messages in a video, by the way. That's just how it goes. I may have mentioned some of the conversation, but I wouldn't have shown any of the messages. I also, this morning, this was yesterday, so this morning I was like, there's a few things that people have said that I haven't asked about, and I don't know anything about. So I said, you supposedly posted art that wasn't made by Shannon as one of the first available tweets, which people pointed out to me. The art isn't by Shannon and is a sketch of someone who had been pretending to be Shannon recently, allegedly. That was this tweet, by the way. Said, yeah, that was its own thing and also was what spurred me to come back. I said, why that and not anything else? Replied to the art bit here in the next reply and said, the art, frankly, no one was looking at the Twitter and I was going to do my own version of it and posted it to save it to my PC and forgot to delete it. Mostly as a thanks for filling me in on everything going on with the witch hunt. I said, I see, why'd you come back because of that and not due to Odessa or something like that? That basically a lot of people getting labelled as me and getting some of the most horrible abuse and triggering stuff sent to them because people thought they were me due to Emily. So yeah, I don't want innocent people getting messed with like that. I said, due to Emily? They said, not solely, perhaps, but she definitely started the witch hunt. And they sent this, which for some reason isn't loading, but it was just a screenshot of one of Emily's tweets that has about Emily posting about Creepshow Art sock puppet accounts. And then I said, that was posted after you made this account. And I said, yeah, I made this as a secondary before the drama, mostly to keep in contact with friends. Never really intended it for it to be an official Twitter account. I said, but the people you talk to don't seem to think it's you, so how is it keeping in contact with friends if no one knows it's you? Said DMs, public would have let people know. This account used to have a totally different name and handle and everything. Just a random name to talk to a few contributors and friends who didn't have Instagram. Said, then why haven't any of them backed you up on saying it's you, unless I missed that? They said, lol, have you missed anyone defending me being blasted? I specifically told everyone to stay out of this. And I said, I mean, a few people shared their sides on YouTube, They don't have to agree with your behavior to say it's you. Like, you want Gabby to say something, yet you want them to stay out of it. Gabby was different. She was being used as a case against me. If best case that Diorio was just running his mouth, then Gabby could clear it up in post and wouldn't catch much heat. If at worst she did say I texted her, then frankly she deserved all the heat and more which she's getting now. So that makes sense. Have you seen the Reddit posts posing questions about the account? They said, I think someone sent me a screenshot of one person saying I was making good points, but otherwise, no. Which I think is a bit strange considering they said that they watch all the YouTube videos. I mean, of course, some people use Twitter and YouTube and don't use Reddit. I didn't use Reddit for ages, so it's not out of the realms of possibility. And that was my conversation with quote unquote Creepshow Art. Interesting conversation. Let me know thoughts in the comment section below. Did it answer everything that you were curious about? You can probably reach out to them yourself if you want, but I would say if you do, please just try and treat them like a human being. Like, I understand that if this is Shannon, that people may not want to be nice and stuff, because honestly, the allegations are bad if they're true, but if you want to get somewhere with someone, you need to treat them like a human being. That's just it. I wasn't going to get anywhere in this conversation saying that, oh, you're a bad person because of such and such allegations. But hey, can you just tell me this, this, and this? Just wouldn't have worked. Human decency is a thing, alright? But anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Peace.